Hello, second graders, and welcome back. Remember, our learning target this week is to partition or divide or cut up a rectangle into rows and columns of same size squares to find the total number of them. All right, remember when you see me like this, that means for you to pause the video so that you can solve it yourself and then press play when you're ready to come back. Let's get started. Time for review. Which picture shows two halves? How do you know? Pause. Welcome back. So I'm going to see which one shows two halves. I see this has one piece and two pieces. Okay, it has two pieces. This has two pieces, but this has two pieces, but those pieces aren't equal. So that can't be it. This piece has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And so it's asking which one has two halves. So two halves means it is cut into two pieces, two equal pieces. So this one shows two halves because it is cut into two pieces and the pieces are equal. Awesome. Time for modeled. Jamie drew a picture of the cake she was cutting up. She said the cake is cut into 4 columns and 3 rows. What is Jamie's mistake? Well, first I'm going to just figure out how many actual rows and columns there are. There's one, like I'm going to count the rows first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So so I know that it's 4 rows and 5 columns. How did she get 4 columns and 3 rows? What could she have counted that was 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You know what it looks like? It looks like she counted the lines and not the actual columns. So she was counting this line and this line and this line and this line and not the actual column. So that's a misconception. That's something that a lot of people might think, is that they count the number of lines instead of the actual column, like the space between the lines. So we count the actual like cake instead of the lines that you cut it into. So Jamie's mistake is that she was counting the lines and not the actual rows and columns. All right, time for guided. So this is another misconception, and we're going to try to figure out what it is. Rebecca was cutting a cake to share with her friends. What is Rebecca's mistake? Pause. Welcome back. So what is Rebecca's mistake? Well, she cut it into rows and columns, but what I'm noticing is that these squares aren't the same size as these squares. So that means if someone got this piece, they would be a lot happier than if someone got this piece. This person would not have been as happy, and they would be jealous of the person who got this piece. So Rebecca's mistake when she's cutting it up is that she's not cutting it into the same size number of squares. She's not cutting it into equal squares. So it has to be the same size. So that's a common mistake. Make sure that you don't fall into that trap. All right. Time for quick check. Draw and explain to Jana how to cut this cake into 4 rows and 3 columns. How many pieces of cake will there be? Remember from the previous slides, the pieces have to be the same size. And when we're counting the rows and columns, we're counting the actual pieces of cake, not the lines that we cut it into. Okay, so post it on Dojo. You can take a video of yourself. You can draw it out. You can type it out, whatever you want to do so that your teacher can see that you understand it. Awesome job today. Great